You're probably wondering who I am, and rightfully so. My name is Jimmy Ray Brown, and I'm a guy with Asperger's syndrome. How do I describe my life? My interests include video games, also movies and making movies. Hot Fuzz, great movie. The Thing, a classic. But what I'm really interested in is a job. I guess I wake up and there isn't really anything urgent in my life, and the bed I've got is really comfy. I just don't want to get out of it. I just wish that I was doing something a little bit more. Yeah, like actually going out there and doing some work. Frozen solid. I really need to just take the challenge head on. It's the only way I'm ever gonna move forward in my life. It's like growing up, just walking into the real world and accepting it and taking in just how scary it really is. This is my family: my mom, Fiona, my dad, Russell, and my brother, Leo. And he has Asperger's too, but we are quite different. No one Aspie is the same.
We are a really close family. We're all inside the tent, basically. And the boys don't have that many friends, in the outside world.
Occasionally, if people ask me about, have you got children or what do they do, and I'll say, how old are they, and say, they're 22 and 18. You think, they must be out at work, and you think, then you kind of have to toss up whether you're going to explain to them what your family situation is, or can I be bothered, really. So there is always that. That's part of our world, is living on planet Asperger, really.
Asperger's syndrome is a form of autism that affects social interactions. I can have a kind of hard time trying to talk to people. So now you know what Asperger's syndrome is. What's it like having it? Well, here's my question to you. What's it like being able to think straight?
The way I think about it is, if you can imagine a computer that doesn't have a graphics card, so it's doing all the graphics on the CPU, and that means that things really slow down when there's a lot to process.
Suddenly I can't see it.
If you've got the hardware, like most of us do, you're flying along. But if you're having to do it all on, your main processor, then that is really going to bring things to a halt. And that's what happens to Jimmy sometimes. He does just lock up.
My impression is that you feel like you don't just want to be at home all the time, and you want to actually get out in the world and, do something for yourself and all that.
That is exactly the reason, because like we said earlier, last year was a quiet year for me. Yeah, and I don't want it to be like that for 5 years until I get a job by per chance.
He wants to be independent, and he's really working at that, and he's really thinking about that, he really is. And this is part of the reason he wants to get a job.
Yeah. You want to go out there and find one?
Yes, I want to actually try.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you, mate.
I think that's admirable. So how do you feel about the progress we're making so far this year?
Being kind of slow, but I do feel like I'm close now. I regret not checking in sooner because a lot has happened. First I went to Work and Income, and they actually informed me of another work agency called Elevator who might be able to help.
Jimmy, are you prepared for the workforce?
Sure, why not? And now I'm working with a nice woman called Belinda who might possibly have some work for me.
Jimmy, have you thought about volunteering at the New Zealand Film Festival, which is coming up?
Yes.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will contact them and see what we can do, whether we can get you in and maybe see if they'll give you an interview or something.
Let me put it this way. Yes! Just finally, it feels like something is happening. This is my good shirt. And these are my good pants. I'm about to go in for an interview. I've had interviews about what kind of jobs I would like to have, but never one that's actually going to get me a job. Whenever I'm a little nervous, it kind of feels like there's this feeling in my chest that just sort of scrunches up. I go into that sort of overthinking state where I'm wondering if I should or shouldn't do this. But I try to do everything I can to overcome it. There's this part here, but there's no thing to... I'll just unbutton it. Yeah, I look okay. Actually, I look good. You know, I look really good. Let's do this. This is actually going to be a really huge step forward for me. I'm actually going to get some work. I've actually already put on deodorant and brushed my teeth, so can't really think of anything else. Well, wish me luck.
Hi, Jimmy. Nice to meet you. I'm Felicity.
Hi, Felicity.
Welcome to the office. This is where
Nice.
all the hard work happens.
Okay.
This is Lynn. She's our Auckland manager.
Hi.
And Anders over here, he does publicity.
What's his name?
Anders.
Anders. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of information about what we do, what the volunteers do at the festival. We look for people that are friendly and energetic.
Yeah.
People who like films, of course.
Yes.
And who enjoy dealing with the public. Have you had an experience in the past that might help with this job?
There is a chore I do at my house where I empty the dishwasher. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all that happens is my parents call me to empty the dishwasher and I do it. And I'm sure I've made other achievements. Oh, none off the top of my head. Damn it. That actually went really well. There actually wasn't a whole lot of tension there, and I wasn't feeling as nervous as I usually do.
So it was lovely to meet you.
Yeah,
and
good
it's
to meet you too.
great to have you on board.
Yeah, good to be here.
Cool.
I did get the job. It actually felt quite good, like I'd actually succeeded at something. I can add this to my resume and get a job that actually will pay. I finally got a job. This is a really big step for me. Yes! Of course, that was just the easy part. The hard part is gonna be the job itself.
Oh, excuse me.
I am, of course, feeling a little nervous, but at the same time kind of excited because, yeah, I just don't know what's really going to happen. Every time I do something real world-ish, chances are there's gonna be something I won't know what to do. Yeah, the most challenging thing is that I'm going to be interacting with a lot of people at once. Yeah, and I'm not so sure how I'm gonna handle that, but I'm never gonna know unless I try.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi.
It's good to see you again.
Good.
Now, this is Amethyst.
Hi,
How you
Amethyst.
doing? She is your senior usher. I'll leave you guys to it.
Sweet. So, welcome to the Academy Theatre. It's sort of one of our interesting theatres at the festival.
I've been here plenty of times.
Yeah, so the numbering's a bit different to our other cinemas.
Well, I got there and I met Amethyst, who sort of had this crazy hairdo and piercings in very unusual parts of her face. And yeah, she was actually still a nice, good woman. I meet a lot of those.
So, in the cinema, so if we're here,
Yeah.
there's your usher seats. And then you see row A's at the back here, there's 1 and 2. And then it goes to 12, 13, 14, which of those ones there. It's just the funniness here. And then
I actually hadn't noticed how twisted the numbering system for the Academy Cinemas is.
physically shocked.
It's like number 1 actually starts off in the middle on the right side, and then it continues on the other side. Just what?
On row C, you have to go in row D. It's the quirky nature of the cinema. And you're in D3. Do you want to show this gentleman to D3?
All right.
The work experience he does may well involve interacting with the public. It'll be really good for his confidence and self-esteem. It'll widen his social networks, and ideally it'll get him started in an industry that he already has a connection with.
Cool, so that's C12 and 11 and 12. Do you want to show these guys to 11 and 12?
All right.
On the left-hand side.
Okay, 11, 12, C.
Cool.
Yeah, there it is.
So you'll be on the...
What should I do with these?
They keep them.
Oh, right.
Yeah. D.
And here are your tickets.
Cool, so L8 and 9. Take these guys to L8 and 9.
Okay. One thing was trying to tell if whether or not it was this person's first time at the Academy Cinema or if they could find a seat by themselves. And it's this seat over here. It actually did feel genuinely good helping them out and pointing the seat out with my torch. Yeah, I got a torch. Here I am behind the information desk. Here's a small version of this. After the meeting with Amethyst and after my first ushering job, we went to the Civic. I met a guy there named Eric, who was the guy behind the information booth.
People come and ask us things. Then you've got to explain to them why the building is built like this. In 1929, there was no television or radio, so it was like a magic carpet when they came in.
Yeah, it was actually this great movie eccentric.
I remember Fellini, the famous Italian director, he used to eat cheese late at night because it made him dream. And he'd have these fantastic dreams, and he'd remember them in the morning, and he'd turn them into some of his wonderful films.
Whoa, cheese gives you dreams?
It does, and chocolate's another thing.
Remind me to eat more cheese. Yeah, Asperger's syndrome is sort of kind of hard to explain. I think the thing that makes me most nervous is straight up not knowing what to say or what to do. I know that there's an answer there. It feels like my brain is screaming at me to answer it. Yeah, I guess the thing you're supposed to do is don't panic. Try to think of the closest thing you have to what they're trying to ask you for.
I kind of want some help from you tonight as well.
All right, what do you
I
need?
think I want to see a film.
Okay,
So
what
what's on
movie?
tonight? What's on?
What is on? Schedule's over here. Actually, to tell you the truth, over the years, I have gotten a lot better at talking with people.
Oh, fantastic.
Are we able to buy tickets here? No, it's
No.
around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's near the front. I was just talking to that other woman
Okay,
about it.
cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm good at getting into conversations about movies. Del Toro himself actually admitted that this was just gonna be his big, dumb action blockbuster. Yeah. Although I'm not so good at listening, especially when the subject doesn't really concern me. Yeah, I've been giving legitimate advice to everybody who's come up here so far, and yeah, it's been really good. I haven't been on this job for very long, but I am liking it. All right, back to work. So day 3 of the job, I have some more ushering to do. This time I'm working in a different cinema with Felicity.
So the movie that we are watching now is a band called Death.
All right.
And then I might get you also to do a little bit of showing people to their seats. The only notes that I'd give you from the last time that you'd worked, I think that you were concentrating on the job that you were doing, which was good. So I'm just going to add one more little challenge.
All right.
Do a good job
Yeah.
and smile, enjoy it. Because it's fun for people to come to the movies, and you should project that fun.
Sorry, L11 and 12.
All right, go right then. Well, I didn't know I wasn't smiling. I think they're fine.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure I have ever since that day.
Elton, fantastic. You're in the middle of row L, but you know what, might it just be best to go to the other side of the cinema?
Okay, G5, G6, and G7, those are all correct. Go
on
right
the
in,
left-hand
but
side.
please take... never mind.
If somebody was to judge him really quickly, I think that they might think that he's been a little bit brisk with them. But that's just his way of really concentrating on doing the job to the best of his ability. So with the smiling, we're trying to get him to show what's on the inside.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, you need to show your tickets first. Oh, right. Oh, I see. You're holding them upside down. Yeah, that's good. Wait a minute, let me look at that. Oh, all right. All the way over there. Am I being too pushy?
Don't forget to smile to me.
Yeah, right. Hi. There are times where I do feel like, where I'm thinking to myself, and that's when I realize I'm actually really smart, but it's like I forget what I've taught myself. Yeah, that's the funny thing about lessons. Learning them is one thing, actually building them into you is another thing entirely.
You can see the way his brain works. He'll come out of a film and you'll say, what did you think of it? And he says, I don't know. And then the next day, he will have the perfect elevator summary of it. Again, we get to this thing of he's not stupid, but he takes longer to process things.
Hey, I think somebody's sitting in your seat. Yeah. Well, I think that's a job well done. It's been a week since I started this job and Felicity has given me a new task. This week I have to hand out these flyers to these internet cafes.
This is a good time to mention I'm not very good at reading maps.
That day was hell for me.
Still further down.
When I was given that map, it felt like the places that were marked were actually situated kind of to the side.
Okay, still further up. Okay, I think it's down here.
I walked around an entire building thinking I'd find an internet cafe behind it, when in reality it was in front of it, street side.
Yeah, here it is. Hey, Mid-City, Wakefield Street. All right, let's get on with it. I think this one should be easy to find, hopefully. Okay, so yeah.
I look at all of the details I'm given, and if one's off, that can really confuse me.
Well, we found an internet cafe, but not the one named here. Huh. Maybe this is wrong or something? Anyway, why don't we look around for a little bit? Yeah, I actually do have it wrong. It says here 76A Wakefield Street. This is 82. Little off.
Worst fears are that he was put in situations where he did lock up, which doesn't happen often, but it's entirely possible.
Hey, now I have no idea where I am. I have no idea where I am now.
Hey, Jim, you're right.
I don't know! Actually, can we turn that off for a moment? We were in the right place after all. I failed to notice that 76 up there. And, oh my God, there's... It says here that the name of the cafe I'm supposed to be looking for is called Mid-City, but the one standing before me is called Big World. And that one tiny little detail really confused the hell out of me. Having this camera, feeling like it was constantly looming over me, expecting me to do something, added to the frustration.
It made me feel stupid.
I think Jimmy himself will have learned a few things about what his needs are in terms of information. Strategies are a big thing in general for people on the spectrum, because this is a world that doesn't quite conform to the way they perceive things or the way they act.
Yeah, I'm handing out flyers for... Oh, wrong number.
I believe I did legitimately suffer that day,
Yeah?
but I don't think it changed my confidence of what I'm doing. It just made me realize that I can sometimes get confused by details, and it's best if I have clear instructions.
Well, that went well.
It's been a pretty good journey so far, do you think?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. I was really impressed with the way that you thought about all the things that needed to be done, and you concentrated really hard on making sure that everything was right on somebody's ticket and that you were really good at showing people to their seats. But I think that the one thing that you could improve on is just to maybe just relax a little bit more, and that's going to come with time.
2 lots of 3D glasses.
How much is that going to be, Jimmy?
$2.
Well, I think the fact that he's done this in the first place shows a great intention to get some experience and to get a job. And anyone that can see that should feel very proud of him.
Does everyone have their 3D glasses?
Yes. Enjoy the murder.
You know, he's really intelligent. He knows lots of things about films that I don't know. So I think that he'd be a great asset to any cinema.
Oh, that's a lot of people at once. Yeah.
My last shift was really fun because I got to spend more time with Amethyst, who is a very fun woman.
There's not many people in there yet.
I've heard you're not allowed to do this.
You're not allowed to do this?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. Just can't.
And having this job has meant that I've been able to socialize with more people. That's definitely something good that's come out of this.
He had more confidence in his ability to do this stuff than we did. And, you know, that's great. And he actually enjoyed it too, and he made friends.
Coffee in a glass?
Yeah, sometimes lattes they do it in a glass, or they do it in a bowl.
Huh.
Crazy concept.
I think it has actually given me some real good work experience. Next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to be finding an actual job, one that actually pays.
I mean, there was a long time where we thought that Jimmy was going to have to be in some form of sheltered environment or care. That's clearly not the case anymore. He can make his own life. It might take him a little longer, but, you know, he'll do it.
Well, that's enough for now. Signing out.